What's your name, boy?
Hugo. Hugo Cabret.
Oscar-winning filmmaker Martin Scorsese is known for directing gritty classics, such as Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, and Goodfellas. But now, in a unique turn, the acclaimed director is tackling the family film genre with his first 3D feature, Hugo. Starring 14-year-old Asa Butterfield as the title character, an orphan who tries to warm the heart of an elderly man played by Sir Ben Kingsley. We sat down with several cast members from the film to discuss this offbeat fairy tale. Starting off with your director, Martin Scorsese, I read that prior to being cast in this film, because of your age, you really weren't that familiar with his previous works, right?
Yeah, I'd heard of his films, but I hadn't heard of him personally. It was only when I was doing the audition that I realised of how big a deal this was and how massive Marty was in the acting world.
And it must have been a fascinating experience to work with such a legendary filmmaker.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was a great experience for me and a great education for me as well. Marty's such a perfectionist. Everything he does is so fine-tuned. And he took all of his expertise in film directing into Hugo, and it just made it look amazing, especially with the 3D.
And I wanted to ask you about your relationship with Sir Ben Kingsley, because that seemed like to me the central element of the film was your two characters and how they relate with each other. How did you two relate in real life on set?
No, we got really well. He was like one of them, if not the most inspirational actors I've worked with. When we were working together, whenever they said cut, he'd completely stay in character, and everyone would call him Georges, and that inspired me to stay in character as well. So we sort of played off each other, and we got on really well as well.
I wanted to start off with your character, Georges Millet, who was a prolific filmmaker of his time. You're kind of capturing an interesting part in his life. His career had faded. What was that like for you to kind
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. I mean, he was an utterly destroyed man, and he was trying to make himself invisible. He did not want to be reminded of all the beautiful things in his life, and that for me was very difficult. My body language had to change, my voice, everything had to change. But then, you know, I say horrible, but that really is my job. If I didn't offer Asa Butterfield something that was broken and that needed mending, where is his journey? So we've all got to serve the story, and we've all got to serve Asa's Hugo, orphan, valiant, brave, beautiful child that he portrays. So yes, it was horrible, and yes, what was tricky for me, and that's where I trusted Asa totally, he's such a strong boy, was I had to push him away over and over. Do not come into my life, go away, do not remind me. And ultimately, because he's so persistent and brave, he finally says, come on, listen to me. You really have to come back to life. But it was tough, yeah. Your co-star, Asa, you guys have an interesting relationship in the film. Were you guys close on set?
Definitely, yeah. You know, the minute we met during the chemistry read here in New York for the role, we just had a great relationship, and he's such a cool guy. You know, he's like a little brother to me, even though he's 7 weeks younger than me. I treat him like he's my little brother. So he's a really, really sweet guy and a great great director, Asa. No, he's a great actor, and I think he has a very bright future ahead of him.
And in general, how great of an experience was it just to make Hugo and have it be released?
It was amazing. It was some of the most fun I've ever had. It was really tiring, and it was amazing working at it, and becoming Hugo was one of the most amazing experiences I've had.
Very impressive. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you.